Okay.
Yeah, sure, sure.
All right. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Speaker's Corner. Who is Speaker's Corner? And I have this wonderful gentleman who's been a regular here, and we're going to explore what it Speaker's Corner means to him, and how he contributes to the wonder which is Speaker's Corner. So, would you like to please introduce yourself?
My name is Saeed. I live in London, and I'm a Muslim, and I come to Speaker's Corner almost every time. And what I like about Speaker's Corner is that it's a place that exposes you to different ideas, and you know the world, you know people, you know cultures, ideas there, and you
Uh,
meet a lot of different people, many
we'll
different.
get onto that in a second, but
Yeah,
first, I'd just like to explore who you are really.
yeah,
Obviously, you don't need to know details,
yeah,
but just memories, thoughts, experiences.
yeah,
So I want to get the YouTube to understand what the components are
yeah.
that is you today as a human being.
Yeah,
So, where were you born,
I was born in Somalia. In Somalia.
and what was the life like as a child in Somalia?
I was born in Somalia, and my family moved to Saudi Arabia when I was two. So I grew up in Saudi Arabia, and I lived there for many years. And then I left, and I traveled around the world a bit, and finally settled down in England.
So, in
The last
Saudi Arabia, how do you feel that you were treated there?
Saudi Arabia, I think it's there is everybody knows how life is in Saudi Arabia. You know,
Well, we don't. There's a lot of people that don't actually
it's
understand that. Or do you want to
uh,
talk about?
well, for me as a Somali, it's not my country, so I could stay there for some time, but I can't be there forever.
Do you feel like you're treated as an equal there, respected?
No, no, no,
No.
no.
And what is that? Why is
I'm not
that
even allowed to stay in the country.
not even allowed to say there,
Yeah, yeah.
even though you
I'm a
grew up
foreigner.
there?
I'm a foreigner. Yeah, even if I was born there, you don't stay in Saudi Arabia. You have to leave one day.
You have to.
You have to leave one day. Yeah, it's not. You go back to your country.
And if you don't mind me asking, why did your parents move to Saudi Arabia from
Uh,
Somalia?
work.
Work.
Yeah.
And the work they did there, was that manual work or
My father, yes, yes, yes.
manual work,
Manual work.
built bricky or?
Yeah, he would do different jobs, and then he got into the livestock trade because Somalia exports a lot of animals, you know, a lot of
Okay.
livestock, and he was like a trader, you know. He would bring livestock from Somalia, you know.
So it sounds a bit middle class.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, would that be accurate?
Yeah.
So it sounds
He was
quite
into that trade, you know, yeah.
And so, did you ever spend a significant amount of time in Somalia?
I've never seen Somalia since I was two.
All right, so it's definitely Saudi Arabia then. That
Yeah,
was,
Saudi Arabia, Saudi Arabia.
but you felt like you weren't really welcome there.
Yeah, we all know, you know, Saudi Arabia is obviously, it's not like Britain. They don't give you the passport, you know. If you are foreigner, you just come for work, and when your work finish, you go back.
So, as a child on the streets there, were you bullied or was it racism?
Well, that kind of that side of the life was normal, you know. You grow up with your friends, you know, your mates, you know, and it was good. That in that aspect, it was good, you know. You go
Uh,
to school and you play with your friends, football and everything, and you hang around with them. And
so,
we were actually from different nationalities. Saudis, non-Saudis, different nationalities.
right,
Because a lot of foreigners go there, you know, for work
so
and have children there.
quite
you know.
multicultural.
Multicultural, Saudi Arabia, multicultural, yes. A lot of multicultural, yes, yeah. Different nationalities.
All right, just my point was, did you experience racism because you weren't?
There is racism everywhere.
I know that, but I'm just trying to
There
ascertain.
is.
Were you an equal in that country?
No.
All right, that's all I'm trying to ascertain there. I think that's okay. So you Somalia, Saudi Arabia. Wow, this is quite a journey in
Yeah.
histories that
After
you've
Saudi
come on.
Arabia, I lived in Syria for 2 years, Russia year and a half, Greece 9 months, Germany 2 years. I've been to Italy, Holland, and finally I settled down in England.
Wow. This is a man of very many
I've seen the
cultures.
world. Yeah, I've seen the world. I lived with different people from. Yeah, yeah.
That's a lot of experiences
Yeah,
that you've.
yeah.
So what? How did you end up coming to the UK then?
Because Somalia, there is war in Somalia, and life is not good there. It's not safe. So, so you stay in Europe. You apply for asylum in Europe, and you stay in Europe.
All right. So you just alluded to some sort of danger in
Yeah,
Somalia.
danger. There is no life, no danger. There is danger, no work, no livelihood, no.
And would you
So
say that's true today as well?
uh, it's still, it's I think better than before. I think you've seen Somalia in the media before, the civil war,
Yeah.
the tribal war, and everything.
I don't think
But it's better now. It's better
the
now.
media is really not the great conduit of truth that it should be,
Somalia
unfortunately.
suffered for 30 years from civil war.
And where does that energy of hatred come from, do you think?
Ignorance.
Sorry?
People, ignorance. Somali people, they fight each other on tribal basis. They fight each other on who rule. Who rule? Let the people choose who rule. Ignorance. Ignorance. People, they're not mature.
So do you feel there's an energy that's propagating this division?
Oh yeah. Obviously, there is outside interference who make problem worse.
Would you like to, is it imperialism or
Yeah,
Westernism?
everybody uses. Everybody from outside will come in and use the conflicts for his own interest. Yeah, make them continue fighting each other. This is this is the policy of imperialism.
Imperialism.
Imperialism. Yeah, they just create conflicts everywhere
Yeah.
and maintain them.
So it shouldn't be too much of a surprise for our viewers that people do not want to live in the consequences of imperialism,
Oh yes, yes.
and they might want to move to a country that
Yeah,
doesn't have hell
yeah.
as a bedrock
Yes, yes,
of daily life.
yes,
So that's one of the reasons why immigration happens.
yes, yes.
Immigration and this imperialism stems from Western countries, and so therefore the Western countries should have
The
responsibility.
West is responsible for, oh, we could say, all the dictatorship around the world. They just set up tyrants everywhere who serve them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you've even though you experience these horrors and this destabilization, you, as far as I know, you've come out of a well-rounded and experienced and wise man.
Yes.
How have you managed to keep this strength?
You have to stay strong. You have to stay strong. Otherwise, what you're gonna do? You're gonna just. How are you? All right. All right. Alaykum salam.
So,
Otherwise, you're just gonna kill yourself. You have to live. You have to continue living, struggle. Stay alive. Yeah.
so how did you end up finding about Speaker's Corner?
Sorry.
How did you end up? You ended up into the UK. You've been here how many years now?
25.
Wow, that's considerable.
25.
So, do you feel this is your home now?
Oh, I love England. I love England. It's when I travel abroad for a holiday and I come back, I feel sense of relief. I came back home. It's a very beautiful country. Gave me a lot. It's very beautiful. Very welcoming society.
That's what are the main facets of England that you really attach to as a human being?
Uh, the freedom, and the order, and the peace and order, and the as an individual here, you could get almost everything you need. A job, a place to live, a home, and the NHS is free. So what else do you want? The language is English, international language. So the people are lovely. The society is very good. Very good people. What else do you want?
That sounds like
I'm very happy, to be honest. I'm very happy here in this country. I've been here 25. I could live for another 1,000 years.
Yay! Welcome to the UK.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I have British passport. I'm proud of the British passport. Carrying
there you
British
go.
passport,
That's
yeah.
fantastic to
Yeah,
hear
yeah,
that a
yeah.
Muslim has such an overwhelming.
Yeah. No, Britain is a great country.
Britain's a great
Yeah,
country.
it is. Yeah.
So You've been here 25 years. How did you first start hearing about Speaker's Corner, and what was the motivation for
I
coming here?
watched it on YouTube, and I find all this discussion and debates very interesting. Very interesting. So I used to watch a lot of YouTube videos here,
Yeah,
and then I used to live in Bolton, and sometimes I would come from Bolton to here. But now I
wow,
moved to London.
dedication.
Now I moved to London last year. So in London, when I'm in London, I could come here like every time. It's very interesting. Just being amongst the crowd. And watching all different conversation, and sometimes you talk and you enjoy yourself. You have fun.
And what are the topics you tend to gravitate towards?
Religious, yeah, man.
Religious, and what
Because
any particular
yeah.
facet of religion that is?
I'm a Muslim. I'm a Muslim, and I, uh, I listen to religious topics. Islam debate, Islam Christian, and things like that.
Would you say there are people here that bring a good example of debate who are Muslim and Christians?
Uh, yeah, but I think they could be better.
Who
They
would
could be
you
better.
who would you say brings a good debate about Christianity and Muslims here?
I really don't know, but I think everybody is trying his best,
All right. Or
but
her
we
best?
we all fall short, But I think the best thing is when you're religious is to be the best in manners and things like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
good
coming
manners.
here
Yeah,
is
yeah.
everybody's right, of
Yes,
course,
yes.
but there's a level of standard, isn't
Yeah,
there?
yeah,
What sort of standards do you think should, when confronting somebody that disagrees with you,
yeah, yeah.
what sort of minimum standards should each of us have?
We should have discussion about the issues that we disagree about, and that's all we could do really. Just discuss. If somebody's wrong on something, you just show him where he's wrong in a friendly way, and then it's up to him if he accepts it or you leave it to him.
When somebody's getting a little bit agitated or aggressive,
Oh,
what do you recommend doing in that
no,
situation?
nobody should be agitated. You should leave it.
You
I
should
think
leave
if
it,
somebody is become agitated, aggressive, the best thing to do is just walk away.
walk away.
Walk away. Yeah,
Yeah.
I do that all the time. I just walk away.
And it takes a man,
Yeah,
I
of
believe,
course, to
to be
walk
able to
away.
walk away.
Yeah. It's a man thing, and it's wise also. It's the wisest thing you could do. Just walk away because it's gonna escalate. You don't know what's gonna happen.
And the times you have come here, how long have you been coming here now?
A year and a half now.
Year and a half, so not too long then in the big scheme of things.
Yeah, yeah.
And do you think it's helped you grow as a person, helped
Yes,
your eyes
yes,
grow?
yeah,
Can you
yeah.
elaborate on that?
Yeah. It helped me grow. It helped me, not be angry and be able to. Sometimes you just have to ignore. You hear a lot of things. You don't need to respond to everything. I wasn't like that before, but I think I gained that now. I could take a lot of things and not respond.
All right.
It doesn't affect me emotionally.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
sometimes before a word could flip you over.
wow, that is a very important
Yeah, a
point.
word, yeah.
People come here just
Yes.
to deliberately be horrible,
Yes, yeah, yeah.
and people like I believe like Bob the Destroyer,
Oh, yeah, he used to
Hattoon, Big
annoy
T,
me, But now I just hey, it's Bob.
Bob. All he can be is horrible.
Yeah.
So it is very important to identify people that are just
Of
horrible.
course, I used to confront him. I have few YouTubes myself, YouTube videos. I confronted him few times, but then I just left him. I
Yeah.
got tired of with him.
I think it's very important that if you come to Speaker's Corner, don't descend down to the level of the people you don't like.
Of course. Yeah. Don't
And
descend. Yeah.
people like Bob the Destroyer, Hattoon, their real religion is bringing you down to their lowest level of hatred, and that's where they swim and indulge in their perversions.
Yeah.
Is that an accurate assessment, or is that?
Yeah, it's very accurate. Yes.
Yeah, thank you for saying that. So it's very important. So as you've got spent more time here, you've learned how not to fall into the traps.
Yes, yeah, yeah,
And I
yeah.
think
Yeah.
for our viewers, that's
Yeah.
very important, not
Yeah.
just at Speaker's Corner, but
Life generally, yeah, everywhere, yeah. Yeah, you have to be like that, because you can't afford to have a problem with everybody. You know, you don't have the time for it. You know? So you still have to enjoy your life, you know, and try to have fun in this world, you know, and so you avoid problems.
so we talked about imperialism and
Yeah.
how it fosters horrors in other countries,
Yes.
and that's why immigration is so important.
Yes, yes.
Because let's never forget, if people didn't live in horror, they wouldn't need to move anywhere.
Of course, of course, of
We
course.
must never forget that.
I am here as a refugee because of the policies of some Western governments.
Can you elaborate on more on that, please?
Yeah, if it wasn't for these policies, I would have been now in Saudi Arabia driving a Mercedes with a Saudi passport, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Wow.
maybe have 4 wives or so.
Well, there's so much to unravel there. It's unreal. But
No, I mean, just in there enjoying my life, rich maybe, or
yeah.
but because of the Western support and Western policy, I become refugee, and I had to come here, you know.
So let's not blame the immigration. Let's blame these policies that have caused war in other countries.
Yes, yes.
So if you're putting your angers out on somebody who's a different color to you or from a different country, I think that's insane.
Yeah.
But it's not insane to analyze these policies that
No,
create
it's not
division
insane.
and war in other
Yeah, you
countries.
should have the right to analyze them and say your opinion, especially if it affects you, like it did affect me. You know,
So
you have to have your say.
how do you feel Speaker's Corner is going to be over the next few years, and how can it improve?
It looks like it's gonna continue, just continue like this. People will always come. It will change. It will change. You know, I think Speaker's Corner became different from before Corona and after Corona. It's
Yes,
a little bit different. Yeah,
coronavirus.
so it will keep changing. You know.
So you see a strong future
You see
here.
almost different people here. No, no, there will always be people here, always, and I would always come here. You know.
And would you like to see Speaker's Corner all over the world?
Oh yeah, I love. Yes, yes, yes.
Why?
Freedom of speech is very important.
Freedom of speech
Freedom.
is very
We have
important.
to be able to say what we want. Otherwise, what's the point of living?
What? Wow.
Yeah.
That's how important Speaker's Corner is.
Yes,
What you just said there is an incredible truth.
Yeah. Yes.
Because without that freedom of expression,
No
and,
point of living. Yeah.
and so countries like Saudi Arabia, they should have Speaker's Corner.
Of course, they have. Saudi Arabia, Somalia, freedom of speech is very important.
Freedom of speech
Freedom,
is very
we have
important.
to be able to say what we want. Otherwise, what's the point of living?
What? Wow.
Yeah.
That's how important Speaker's Corner is.
Yes,
What you just said there is an incredible truth.
Yes.
Because without that freedom of expression,
No
and,
point of living. Yeah.
and so countries like Saudi Arabia, they should have Speaker's Corner.
Of course, they have. Saudi Arabia, Somalia, the Middle East. They need if they have all these problems because they don't have freedom of speech. Yeah, the Middle East. They need if they have all these problems because they don't have freedom of speech. If they have, because when you speak, you solve problem. When you speak about it and discuss it and negotiate, you solve the problems. If you don't, how are you gonna solve problems if we don't communicate?
Wow. You see, wisdom comes from brilliant people. And what you've just described, that word there is wisdom.
It is,
The crowning glory of wisdom, that sentence. How can we solve problems unless we get together? And it makes me suspicious why there's so little Speaker's Corners everywhere. It's because the rich kids know that's true. That when we get together, we can solve the problems.
Of course.
That's very beautiful.
You know, these dictators who deny people freedom of speech. You have freedom of speech. How can you deny the others? How could you deny others? Why? You say what you want. You do what you want. So you should be. You should allow everybody what you allow yourself.
Well, is there anything else you'd like to?
No, that's all really.
I'm just going to ask you a couple of silly questions. and even though they're quite hard to answer, do you have a favourite song or band?
I don't have favorite song or band, but I listen to music generally sometimes.
Favourite movie?
Favorite movie? I've been looking for Nothing to Lose these days. You
Okay,
know Nothing to Lose?
I do not know it.
Oh, it's very good movie. Still, what is called Martin Lawrence
Right.
and the other guy I forgot. Very good movie. I've been looking for that DVD.
I might be able to help
couldn't
you
find
out
it. Yeah,
on that.
yeah.
And also, do you have any hobbies as well, like
Oh,
sports or
I
anything?
used to play football, but not anymore now.
All right, there you
Football,
go.
yeah.
So a very multicultural human being, very well travelled,
Yes.
and I think you would agree that he's given us great wisdom here
Yeah.
too.
Thank you.
So, anything else you'd like to add and finish to give the world a positive message?
I would say we are all brothers in humanity. We should look after each other, and this earth is big enough for all of us.
Wow.
We should look after each other.
Boom.
Yes.
That's
yeah,
beautiful.
yeah.
And on that note, I'm going to
We are
say
one family, one big family.
one big
One
family.
big family, yeah.
See, Speaker's Corner gives us wisdom
Yes,
and
yes,
teaches us how to articulate that wisdom
Yes,
and how to overcome the idiots that obviously and sadly try to repress free speech. Thank you ever much for doing Who is Speaker's
Thank you,
Corner.
guys. Thank
That's
you.
really
My pleasure.
appreciated.
Thank you. Thank you
Cheers,
very
man.
much.
That's
Thank you very much.
wonderful.
Thank you.
So come to Speaker's Corner, say hello to him, listen to his wisdom, and obviously give wisdom as well. Thank you very much. This is Who's Speaker's Corner, and the dust is now settled. Woo! And also very wet.